we back, and we gonna prove the 1,000-year reign of Christ has already come and gone. And we're gonna start with Revelations 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan should be loosened out of his prison, and should go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to do battle. To gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So this is describing the 1,000-year reign of Christ, right, with the saints being over with, and then Satan being loosened out of his prison to deceive the earth, Gog and Magog. All right. Matthew, what verse is this? This is Matthew 25 and 30. We're going to start at 31, right? When the Son of Man, Jesus, comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left hand. So this is talking about Jesus, same 1,000-year reign, right? The same 1,000-year reign that they're talking about in Revelations 20. But here's where we get to prove this. Here it's saying when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all his angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. This is a 1,000-year reign happening. This is what's happening during the 1,000-year reign. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another. He's going to separate. Everybody's going to go with their own people. Everybody's going to go, the Chinese with the Chinese, the Japanese with the Japanese, the Indians with the Arabs with the Arabs, the Africans with the Africans, the African Americans with the African Americans in America, right? Whoever's in South America, and so on and so forth. Everybody is in that. When was this the case in our history? It was the case in 1492. Allegedly, the year 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Good old CC in the jingle, right? So the jingle that CC traveled the ocean blue in 1492 is where you start to get all this moving of people around on boats. The Irish got here on a boat. The blacks got here on a boat. We boated these people over here. These people got that land because they conquered these people. And then you start hearing all these stories after Christopher Columbus gets to America. Allegedly, after Christopher Columbus gets to America. But before then, the Africans were in Africa. The Indians were in India. The Australians were in Australia. You didn't need these cockamamie stories, right? About, oh, we shipped some prisoners over here on a boat. You notice people are getting moved around on boats a lot to figure out how they got mixed up. And that's because everybody was in their own land until Satan was loosened out of his prison. That's the story they're giving you of Christopher Columbus leaving his prison. And his prison was Europe. That's where Satan was. Satan was in Europe. And when Satan was loosed out of his prison, and he shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. So he left Europe, Satan, and he went around deceiving everybody. You're from here. You're from here. It's this year right here. Hey, the day starts 12 o'clock at night. The year starts in the middle of winter. All kind of little deceptions. He was putting it on our ass. All right. And in some cases, literally. The devil, Satan, left Europe, and He sailed and he made it to America. This is where it gets even better. If you go to the 1508 rush map, I think that's how you say it, University of Minnesota. All right, a lot of replicable people have this map, and they say this map is a real map, and they're cool with this map. Now they say this is 1508, and it's allegedly 1508. But if you look real close, right here, right where the marker is at, it clearly says G-O-G, Gog, Gog, Gog. And right below it is Magog, Magog. Right below it. Let me see if I can get a zoom. Oh, they're going to let me zoom. They're going to let me zoom. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Gog, right here. Magog, Magog. Gog and Magog. This is the east coast of America. That's New York City. Welcome to New York City. That's the barrels. Gog and Magog is in America. There is no Tartaria and means hell in Latin. Tartaria is the grave. For all the people of that believe in Tartarian buildings. No, Tartarian is hell. That's where the devil, everybody from Europe, that's where the devil was let loose of. To fool all the nations that wasn't Europe, because Europe is doing all of the fooling. That's headquarters for Satan. That's the prison he was locked in, was Europe. And they tell you the story of Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue as the devil's release story. Because what did they say Christopher Columbus did? He brought plagues, war, famine. They show you he's Satan. They just put him in a nice little man form and say, oh, look at that bad guy. Just a one-off. And the trick that the devil is pulling is the 1,000-year reign is already happened. And we're in Satan's little season where he has to rule. The saints are at the North Pole, right? The old world is in America. This is where Judah's at, Israel, the Roman Empire, all right here in good old America, including Gog and Magog. It's all here. Everything is a lie. The world is a show. I'm tired of talking to y'all. I'm out.